All right, how about now? How about now? Friday. Gonna try this one more time. So hopefully, Skinny Survivor, Dan the Man, you guys jump back on. Can y'all hear me better now? Did the mic get fixed? It's appearing to me that the mice making my computer run were kind of in bad shape. Crossing the wires. Bad audio going on. So let me see here. I'm gonna see if I can get everything lined up here. Anybody there? Give me a little feedback. Audio sounding good. We ready to roll forward with this Friday newsletter? I am. I got stuff to do. Chicka chicka chicka. All right, let me get these windows open again. So ready? Yeah. Hey Megan, am I coming through clear to you now? I had to stop the stream, fix a bunch of audio, and then come back. Am I coming through all right? Yes, sirree. All right, cool. Oh, nope. Let's let me get a couple things up here real quick. Oh. Also gonna find the newsletter. Where's the newsletter? We gotta talk about the newsletter. So anyways, it's been a while. I was starting the stream earlier. Had to hack through a bunch of fixes here just to get it to sound good today. But been a while since we did the weekly newsletter roundup. You know, COVID and all, family stuff, kids. Here, I'm gonna have to open up the old mailbox, pull up the newsletter. There we go. Okay, so yeah, been a minute. Let's get this thing rolling. And then nice. Thanks for coming back, Skinny Survivor. Woo. Sweet, much better, right? No more blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's do this. Let's talk about the newsletter. So, yeah. Been a couple of weeks. We actually have some we could catch up on. I was thinking about doing it during the week. Maybe on our Wednesday streams, trying to get back in the groove of things in this newness of life, right? And trying to get back in the groove of things. Maybe cover some of those newsletters that we missed in the past, just because there's still stuff in there that's pertinent and current. So I might do that. But for now, today, let's focus on the stuff that just came out today, including probably some CU updates, as you were talking about there earlier. Here we go, screen shared. So, yep, if you haven't seen it before, weekly newsletter roundup here. Every week, Friday mornings, 8 a.m. You can get this in your mailbox if interested, and you don't already get it. I'm gonna put this little thing in Twitch chat, which will give me a link to sign up for the newsletter if, of course, you're interested. Pretty good newsletter, I must say so myself. I just put it into global chat as well, so that it's going out to YouTube and Facebook and all those places. You're viewing from there. Okie dokie. So I haven't had a chance to review this thing. I don't even know what's in it, honestly. So we're gonna go through this for the first time together. If you also did not receive the newsletter yet. Newsletter broken down into 3 sections: top news stories around the blogosphere, and then the SharePoint events that are kind of going on. So maybe you can get plugged in, even though we're not really doing any of these in-person events anymore. Maybe the virtual stuff you can plug into, right? Speaking of which, Microsoft Build, I don't know if that's in the events down here or not, but yeah, registration opened up for Microsoft Build if you guys are interested in the .NET developer side of the house. So go get signed up for that. All right, without further ado, let's get started. So 2 top news stories. We got Microsoft rolls out sensitivity labels to OneDrive and SharePoint. Super pertinent to me and some contract or projects, I guess, that I'm working on here recently. This is a new major request from a lot of what I'm seeing out there. So I'm going to go through an implementation here shortly with some customers. So what are they saying here? Rolling it out to OneDrive and SharePoint. Microsoft's, what are they saying? With so many people working from home, there has never been a greater risk of corporate data inadvertently leaking. Oh, show. Microsoft's solution is Microsoft Information Protection. Is that a rename from AIP, Azure Information Protection? Which manages the safety of documents through their whole journey around the corporate network. So Microsoft's now rolling out a new feature, sensitivity labels, which lets you create labels for documents and files and policies around those, and then allow end users to label documents within the appropriate tags. True dat. If I'm not mistaken, I was reading on an AvePoint blog yesterday, or this morning, maybe. They're all blurring together now, aren't they? And the sensitivity labels is sort of a combining of different solutions that were separate before. So they're trying to build this experience around security such that you can start to provide user interfaces and experiences for your users to interact with security in a way that makes sense to them and applies policies behind the scenes and does all these other great things that the security professionals or your administrators are able to make sense of and set up on behalf of the company. So anyways, let's see here. In addition, for files labeled and protected with encryption and stored in SharePoint and OneDrive, the following capabilities are going to be enabled. So you're going to be able to do that co-authoring using Office web apps, searching for content within these documents, protection using encryption will persist even after the file is downloaded. And then the last bullet there for Office 365 e-discovery now supporting full text search for the label encrypted files. But just a whole bunch of stuff to learn about that. And I actually, not too long ago, went through the Microsoft Learn website. If you guys aren't familiar with this is a really great tool that Microsoft's putting out. You go to the learn.microsoft.com and then click the link there, and it'll take you right over here. And there's a whole bunch of great material in here to step through, and it's actually a really good platform too. I've enjoyed the delivery mechanism and the presentation of the content here. But there's entire courses here on sensitivity labels, on the DLPs, the data loss prevention, and the policies, and all the configuration around Microsoft 365 security and compliance. So yeah, it does actually, for certs there, Skinny Survivor, there are some pathways here, become Microsoft certified, that will help you focus in on the content pertinent to the certification you're looking to do. So definitely come check this out. I've taken a lot of courses on here, but the Power BI, not Power BI, the Power Apps one, it's probably my favorite one so far. Had me building apps, had me doing some more advanced things, and it was good for me. So anyways, I would highly recommend that. Great resource. So anyways, off topic there from sensitivity labels, but there you go. It's a good place for you to go learn more about them as well. Another one, Microsoft will give you $100,000 if you can hack our Azure Sphere IoT platform. I saw this yesterday too. Trying to promote some security researchers to come in and explore the Sphere OS, which is Microsoft's Linux-based operating system that's mainly used in the IoT platforms. So they're looking for people to come out there and test that, hack at it, see what they're saying here. Anything additional that I've missed? We do know there's about 100 grand in the pool there for researchers to go out and start to try and attack. A bunch of great YouTube videos out there of these guys. All they do, guys and gals, they spend their life hacking platforms on behalf of these companies and then disclosing those vulnerabilities and being paid for them handsomely. So if you're into that kind of thing, and maybe you're looking to get into the cybersecurity side of the world, or forget the term for it. There's a term for this particular type of role that someone does. It's a bounty program. That's what it is. These bounty hunters, they go out after these places like Tesla or Uber or any of the major players, right? They have platforms and they try to disclose some new bugs that they can get paid for. So anyways, there's that. Microsoft 365 Records Management Compliance Service now available. Records Management Compliance Service. So last week, they're saying Microsoft announced general availability, commercial release of the Microsoft 365 Records Management Service, the service which lets organizations apply labels to documents, as well as machine learning to automatically apply those labels. Old school pop-ups, come on. It's designed to address legal compliance tracking issues for organizations. So Microsoft claims it'll help demonstrate compliance with regulations through defensible audit trails and proof of destruction. This is coming from Redmond Mag again. This is Kurt. Let's see here. Records management service is currently available through the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center for IT pros with access. Organizations need to have Microsoft 365 E5, A5, or 365 Insider Risk Management licenses to use this service, which will give them the rights to automatically apply retention and record labels based on trainable classifiers. Yeah, white hat hacking. It's pretty much like that. The bounty programs. Sort of like that, yeah. It's pretty much where these companies open up the door and say, come on in, break it, show us how you broke it, and we'll pay you. Anyways, records management, always a big deal. So seeing this records management compliance service becoming GA now is kind of exciting. Something to dig into as well. Wouldn't doubt it if there's already a course or some learning program here in the Microsoft Learn site. What else we got? Microsoft issues Windows 10 update warning. So this is coming from Forbes, Gordon Kelly over there. It says post was originally published on May 3rd. Okay. Microsoft recently hinted at big changes coming to Windows 10 updates, but that didn't help the here and now, especially after a rotten run of bad updates recently. And now Microsoft's warned you, must be alert again. So picked up by Windows latest, Microsoft confirmed that its new final build of the big Windows 10 May 2020 update is ready, but it will ship with several known issues, especially for gamers. Let's see here. There's a May 5th update saying some good news for Windows 10 2020 upgraders, the May 2020 upgraders. Microsoft confirmed it will make significant changes to how all Chromium browsers, Chrome, Opera, Brave, and Microsoft Edge work in the update. Companies adding WinRT Toast closed event integration. I don't know what that is. It's going to deliver major improvements to how browser notifications are handled in Windows 10. It should go a long way to solving problems users have complained about for years. Now, it won't make the 2020 update from May. Must-have upgrade given the issues listed below, but it's a start. So a bunch of updates he's got here. I'm going to skip through those. You can check that out if you're interested, but they're saying Windows 10 users will find that mixed reality, its platform for virtual and augmented reality applications with more than 2,500 games and VR experiences may not work correctly. Okay. In addition, its DISM, Deployment Image Servicing and Management tool, it's got problems whereby it may not report the correct status when repairing corruption on systems. Good news, Microsoft's working on fixes, no doubt. Unsurprisingly, it's making fixes for Windows Mixed Reality a priority, which we hope to release in early May. What does the May 2020 update bring? It's mostly tweaks and fixes aside from the things that Microsoft knows it breaks, along with upgrades to the Windows subsystem for Linux, hoorah, and graphical improvements to the settings and task manager user interfaces. Toast notifications are the ones that you get on your desktop on the bottom right. I assume that's the one they're talking about. Yeah, I assume so too. They do have overdue plans to improve Windows 10 updates, but with the platform recently passing 1 billion installations, the vast majority of users would be wise to remain cautious. Yeah, I definitely stay up to date on the latest insider builds for Windows. And I haven't really noticed any critical breaks in my day-to-day. So, you know, here we go. Zoom versus Microsoft Teams versus Google Meet. How do they compare? How do they compare? Teams is better, right? No, I mean, kind of drink the Kool-Aid over here, but let's see here. Use a video conferencing and other workplace. Where's this coming from? Sorry, TechRepublic, and this is Owen. What's Owen saying here? Use of video conferencing and workplace collaboration tools obviously rising in usage due to the work from home state that we're in. So 3 of the most popular platforms he says being used right now are Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet, all of which allow you to stay in touch with your colleagues and link up with friends and Of course, they got to do the lawn mowing today, so I apologize if you hear the background noise there. So anyways, Zoom's quickly become a go-to for many users looking for a straightforward way to catch up with colleagues. Yeah. All right, so it offers HD video, audio calls, alongside chat functionality, all of which can be accessed by or from a desktop PC, Android, or Apple devices. It's also famously has customized virtual backgrounds, which are really cool. The one thing they got that we don't have right now on the team side, I think, is video backgrounds. A little bit. I don't know how guys have been doing that. I've been doing some research. I can't figure it out. All these people doing the having themselves recorded walking around behind them in the background. On Teams, I can't figure it out, but on Zoom, you can do video backgrounds. Let's see here. 2 flavors of Zoom are available. The basic free version of the app can host up to 100 participants and unlimited one-on-one meetings with video calls capped at 40 minutes. This is true. My wife's using Zoom a lot at the hospital, and this is kind of a major piece here to their use of Zoom moving forward, that it's capped at 40 minutes, so that's not going to work for them long term. Meanwhile, the Pro version costs $14.99 a month and offers all the capabilities of the free app, which also include improved admin controls that allows hosts to record and encrypt meetings up to a gig. Okay. It also bumps up the maximum meeting duration to 24 hours. That's crazy. 24-hour meeting. Thanks. Above that are the business versions of Zoom, which offer support for between 300 and 1,000 participants. All versions of Zoom offer integration in popular email and calendar applications like Microsoft 365, Outlook, Gmail, iCal. So while Zoom security has been criticized in the past, the company's gone to lengths to address this more recently. Zoom 5.0 now offers fully encrypted meetings and better tools for hosts. Okay. So they're trying to patch that stuff, right? Zoom for May, a number of safeguards will be deployed to free basic Zoom users by default, including password requirements for all the meetings, as well as waiting rooms for call using personal meeting IDs. Trying to address all those things that came out recently, right? With the surge of usage, if you will. What are they saying about Teams here? Teams offers something of a more robust feature set to Zoom, being primarily aimed at business customers as opposed to casual users. Key to Teams' appeal, he says, is its integration with Office 365 and staple Microsoft productivity tools like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. As well as being able to chat and video call, users can share and collaborate on Office documents in real time. Yep, we know what it does. Much like Zoom, though, Microsoft Teams is available in both free and paid-for versions. For those without an Office 365 subscription, Microsoft has a free version of Teams that can be downloaded as a standalone service. Users can sign up for this using their email address. Change that song. Can't do it. I just can't. Free edition of Teams offers unlimited chat messages and search, video, audio calls, file, and screen sharing, plus the ability to collaborate on Office documents. That's pretty amazing for free, isn't it? You can dig that. Office 365 subscriptions, as we probably know if you're on this call, they all start at around $8 a month, offering support for video conferencing up to 250 participants and live events with up to 10,000. I've been attending a lot of live events hosted by Microsoft recently. Thinking about switching our webinar format over to those live events in the meantime, now that it's looking a little bit more feature rich. It's also got a QA piece built into it, which is kind of cool, into the live events. Not to be outdone by Zoom, Microsoft's also recently added virtual backgrounds to Teams to let you hide your messy home office with something a tad more professional looking. While this is currently limited to stock images provided by Microsoft, not entirely, because you can actually upload your own images now. An update is expected in May that will allow users to upload custom. Okay, so we're there. Another update expected in May will see group text chats in Microsoft Teams increased from 100 participants to 250. All right, so then Google Meet's the last piece here for these three platforms that he's going to highlight. Let's see what he says. Web and Search Monolith's own answer to remote workplace. This is Google's solution. Until recently, Google Meet was only available to enterprise users of G Suite platform. And they're saying from this month, however, availability is being expanded to anybody with a Google account. So you can sign into the service from your web browser using your Gmail address. Okay. Google Meet allows users to host video meetings with up to 100 participants at once. Oh, you didn't know that? Skinny Survivor? Yeah. That's true. Gov tenants might be lag behind on that, or I'm blind in the settings. That's so. Check it out. There's a life hacker. Here we go. How to customize your screen. All it means is that you got to go to this directory on your computer right here and upload your own image in the uploads folder. In fact, I'll paste that into chat. I don't think I have any code formatting tools here, but let's just say we do this. And then you go to the uploads folder in there. I'm just going to write this out and put your image in there. And then when you go to show background image, it'll be an option there on that screen. So check that out. So anyways, what are they saying about Google Meet here? Allows users to host video meetings with up to 100 participants at once, offering screen sharing, recording capabilities, scheduling, real-time captioning for free. Users' video meetings are capped at 60 minutes. Okay, so they're getting 20 more minutes than Zoom. What else? Users will be able to enjoy meetings of unlimited length up until September 30th, and then they're going to be like, yo, you got to pay. You got to pay. Let's see. Google's added a handful of new features to Meet in recent weeks as it looks to challenge rivals Zoom and Microsoft Teams, blah, 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 as well as being accessible via the web apps are also available for Google Meet on both Android and iOS. All right, nothing else there major. So 3 players, almost giving similar features, but definitely looks like Teams is giving you the more bang for the free buck. So, all right, last of the top news stories. Microsoft takes the wraps off its new spring Surface devices. Did you guys follow this? Oh, I was so pumped about Surface Book 3. I mean, I was like on the daily doing searches for leaks and things like that, like what's coming out. And then after seeing the Apple side come out, 13-inch MacBook Pro most recently, really disappointed in that release. It's just sort of just another iteration, and as is this one for Surface Book 3. Not game-changing by any means, or super different, but beefed up, internals, I guess is the way to look at it. So anyway, Surface Book 3, Surface Book 2, or Surface Go 2, sorry about that, the Surface Dock 2, the Surface Earbuds, and the Surface Headphones 2 are all the announcements that came out recently from that Surface event. I think it was just a blog post that they put out as their sort of release notes. That's right, Surface All Things. Whoop! I'm still rocking the Surface Book 1. Had a buddy let me use his, and so I'm still hacking on that thing, and it just runs like a champ. I love that thing. I mean, I love the ability to take that screen off of the keyboard, use a pen, draw up my wireframes, take some notes right on there, do all kinds of cool stuff like that, and then slap the screen back on the keyboard and go to town hacking like it's a full-on laptop. Now the Surface Go, the Surface Pro X I also have, and the Surface Pro, right? Those that have that sort of, they're like tablet first almost, but with a flimsy keyboard and a little flimsy kickstand. I just can't do those too well on my lap in the couch, and so I'm kind of all about the Surface Book for that reason. I get stability, I get flexibility, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, the Go, I'm pretty impressed with the Go 2 pricing. If you haven't seen, starts at like $399. Kind of amazing. And it's got enough to be your, what do they call them? Netbook? Yeah. I believe the Go 2 ships with Windows 10 Home in S mode, but you can upgrade those to Windows 10 Pro. Like, I think it was the Surface Laptop when it first came out was the same way. So you can upgrade that to Windows 10 Pro. And then you're not stuck to just apps in the store, the Windows Store. As for other details on that, you can check that out. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Great videos on YouTube highlighting some of those reviews and feedback. All right, so around the Blogosphere, we're going to knock this out here very quickly so I can get back to work. I got a meeting here at 1, so 12 minutes. Here we go. Around the Blogosphere, this is the stuff that's going out in the sort of the industry that we work in here in the SharePoint space. And so these are those guys that are writing articles to help us get past roadblocks and document their experiences with tips and tricks and blah, blah, blah. So this one coming from Nate D. How to bundle and use custom web fonts and SPFx projects. So if you're looking for that kind of a solution, voila, ask no more. So this is coming from Stefan, sorry. I guess what's he call himself here? Nate D Design Develop? I don't know. So there are multiple ways to add custom web fonts to SPFx projects. The best options are to load fonts from a CDN, your own commercial provider, or via fonts.google. So anyways, I'm not going to go through the steps to accomplish that, but if you're working on that kind of a thing, there's a great post to follow along with. April 2020 product updates. Recently put out an update to, so every month we're releasing the change log pretty much for all of the products that we've updated for the month. And so we have blog posts for that, so you can come in, dig in, see the details about what's been updated in these products specifically, and then get that info if interested. What else? CaPa Creative, first look at SharePoint Spaces using 3D printer files. I saw this. SharePoint Spaces making its presence known here, huh? See what we got. So this is a SharePoint site. Let me go full screen here. Question mark? Skinny Survivor, what are you talking about? For the SharePoint Spaces? Yeah, I still don't know the business use case for very many people for SharePoint Spaces, but it is a way for us to bring in those 3D STL files as part of the design process, blah, blah, blah. It could be cool. I just don't know how I'm going to use that yet. So it's a preview option or feature there. Looks like he's got some steps here for getting started and having that in your tenant or your site collection so that you can start working with it and playing with it. But I think you need some special software. You got to have open SCAD type. I don't know. I don't know the details, but it's pretty neat that you can get that stuff going in SharePoint now, and SharePoint's becoming more of not only just the repository for these files and these system, I don't even know what you call these assets, 3D assets, right? Yeah, but now it's got a previewer, right? So now you can actually interact with those 3D files in a cool, interactive way. So a whole bunch of screens here, a bunch of details on that, but I have yet to even ever touch that solution. Experts exchange SharePoint delete list and items under retention. One of the results of enabling retention policies in SharePoint is that you cannot delete a container, which such as a site, list of a folder, without deleting the containing content first. So the script is my attempt to address the issue without disabling retention policies. So he's got a nice PowerShell script here if you're looking for that. Talks about how it works, and yeah, a little more detail around that. So if you're looking to delete list and items under retention and not disable your policies to do that, then there you go. What else we got? SharePoint delete, yep. Create SharePoint Spaces templates using PnP PowerShell. More of the SharePoint Spaces if you're going down that path. 5 common myths around no-code SharePoint application development from business software growth. Let's see what they got. No-code SharePoint, okay. Number 1, complex applications can't be built with a no-code platform. Assuming he's debunking that. Number 2, can be used by trained SharePoint developers only. Low-code platforms can be utilized by only trained SharePoint development specialists. Okay. However, this criterion does not apply to no-code platform. Number 3, lacks adequate security features. Security is a top concern. Of course it is. Number 4, will lead to shadow IT. Many IT leaders believe that apps built on no-code platforms would compound upon the governance challenges faced by the department. It would lead to shadow IT, where SharePoint data can be used without IT's permission or knowledge. Potential. Number 5, SharePoint developers will lose their relevance down the road. We'll have their so the SharePoint power users will have to rely on skilled programmers to complete their work properly. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Common myths. Yeah, I would say those are some myths that I could agree with. Microsoft 365 and SharePoint PNP Weekly. So I did not attend. I missed it. But looks like we got the recap here. So if you're interested in following up on that, you can. There's a link down below that's got the entire episode. You can dig through the notes here. Looks like they may have talked about quite a few things here. And then there's usually, yeah, the video right here. So you can follow along. Get spun up on that. All right, next song. What else we got? Schedule a team conversation in Microsoft Teams. Let's see. With the increasing use of Teams, new scenarios are raised for the people. And a couple of days ago, I saw something about how can a user schedule a team conversation? This option is not available out of the box, probably because you can have the app. You can have the app to install this on your phone and can easily create a post whenever it's needed. However, there are some people that don't have any application from the work installed on their phones. So how would they do that? They would build a column called publish date. Create a flow when an item's created, post a message. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. That seems like a long workaround. Not sure. How to create an app catalog site in SharePoint Online. You go to the site admin. The app catalog is a type of site collection where we keep all our and store our custom apps for our organization, and we will use these apps when they need. Okay, so we can upload the SharePoint hosted app or provider hosted app into the app catalog site. Apart from that, we can also upload the SPFx package file to the app catalog. Yep. Okay, so they're just kind of walking through those steps for all those new to Office 365 or SharePoint Online, probably, you know, for the first time trying to figure that out. Well, there you go. Good blog post on that. How to create an app catalog. Yeah, we did that. Microsoft Build 2020 registration is not only open, it's free. It's live, it's virtual, and it's all for you from Scott Hansman. So yeah, definitely check that out. I got registered the first day I could. I mean, come on, it's Build Conference for free. I will say in the past few years, I've been watching it because they've been streaming live a lot of the keynotes and things like that. But I believe this time, for the first time, It will be totally free, and we will even be able to join the sessions that normally would have costed you. So it's going to be really cool. So get signed up for that if you're not already. All right, that's it. So SharePoint events. Here we got 4 minutes left. I got to jump on another meeting. So what do we got going on? Office 365 Saturdays. Looks like a bunch of them are postponed there. That makes a lot of sense. We got Microsoft 365 Saturdays, which are not postponed. So I assume virtual. So you got some in Melbourne, Nashville, Cologne, Philadelphia. What else do we have? May 14th, visual indicator column. We will be doing that next Thursday. So if you want to come check that out, it's a new SPFx solution that we're providing that allows you to add little visual progress bars and API type of things to your list data. What else we got? SharePoint conference postponed. Microsoft 365 virtual marathon. We got the May 2020 Bamboo Solution product updates on the 28th. So cool thing, I'm going to throw in an ad hoc webinar on the 21st, that Thursday. And we're going to go with what we call a Panda Talk, just something that we pick out of the company that we want to talk about and present to the rest of the world if they're interested in listening. So I'm going to cover the site designs and site scripts, pretty much SharePoint site templating, modern. Right? And we're going to go through that and talk through some of the features on that and how that works. So what else? GlobalCon 2, Omaha 365 Virtual Edition, and SharePoint Fest. Boom. Those appear to be on still. SharePoint Fest, that is. Nothing about COVID on here delays yet, but that's still pushed out to August. All right. That's it for the newsletter. Oof. A lot of talking, you know? Thanks for the show. Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad you jumped on. Thanks for all the help earlier with the mics and stuff like that. I wouldn't have known, so I appreciate the heads up, man. We'll see you guys next Wednesday potentially for just a little recap of some of the past week's newsletters, and then maybe a walkthrough of something that the webinar that I'm going to work on Thursday or present on today. So either way, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. Check you guys next week.